Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome back to Football Carnage, and we are here with another football frenzy. A lot of transfer news to get into. It's basically opened already, right? We already know that, look, the season's done, so people can start buying players, deals can start getting announced, and these rumors are going to be coming very quickly. I need you guys to smash that like button if you click on this video, and if you catch me while I'm live, definitely make sure to get in the chat, and if not, get in the comment section, and you guys can skip around. I'm going to add my chapters for every single topic that we talk about. And yeah, people, as I said, it's a lot to get into. So shout out to everybody that may join. Big up to you. Now, I see a few people in the chat. Yo, what's going on, guys? My guy Input, Rajat, as always, and Christopher. But as I said, I don't really want to waste too much time because I have a lot of stuff to get into. And I don't have that much time to actually do it because the NBA finals start in a little less or actually under 2 hours. So, you know, hopefully I'm able to get through all these topics. But, I mean, yo, let's just get straight into it. Now, this isn't something that I actually want to talk about because I already made multiple videos about Mbappe joining Real Madrid. I just wanted to remind people that he has actually joined and to let you know to be very afraid for what's going to happen next season. Because we're in 7 different competitions, and I expect us to win all 7. We are going to completely dominate. Vinny, Rodrygo, Mbappe. That front three just sounds perfect to me. But some people are saying that maybe we need to stay in the 4-4-2 and drop Rodrygo and play Camavinga because we need somebody that can kind of replace Toni Kroos in that midfield. I don't know. All that I know is that I trust Carlo Ancelotti and that whatever he does, next season is going to be a madness. So I just wanted to just bring up Mbappe real quick, but we're not going to really talk about him because, again, I've already made multiple videos. I just like looking at him in a Real Madrid jersey. Don't he look nice, people? Don't he look nice? Oh, my goodness. My guy Christopher says, yeah, who are you rooting for, Celtics or Mavs? Sorry if not. Nah, bro, it's no problem. I could do NBA, NFL, or soccer. It doesn't, come on, like the back of my hand. I actually don't care who wins. I'm a Brooklyn Nets fan, so my team's not there. I'm not rooting for anybody in particular. But I would say I think the Celtics will win it. I think they have to win it. You know, him and Tatum and Brown, these guys are going to be one of the most expensive duos once Jason Tatum gets his contract extension. And you can't be paying 2 guys close to, what, 600, 700 million, and they haven't won you a chip. So this NBA Finals is going to be very telling for their future. But let me know who you're rooting for down below in the chat. Now, let's get into the first actual story of the day. And we're going to be talking about Rodrygo because it seems like Kylian Mbappe's arrival at Real Madrid is making some people believe that maybe Rodrygo could look to leave after next season, depending on how his playtime shakes out. Now, if you guys have watched this channel, you know that Rodrygo is my favorite player at the club. I think he's very underrated. I think he's one of the best wingers in the world. And I do think there is some concern with his playing time, right? We know that last season, Rodrygo struggled throughout the season in general. During the Champions League final, he ghosted. We didn't see him until like the 58th minute. But I still believe our best formation starting has him in there in a 4-3-3, him being on that right wing, starting out the games. And I think Carlo Ancelotti is going to depend on him next season. So I don't think Rodrygo is going anywhere. But he's been linked to Man City a lot. I'm talking about, I haven't really seen him being linked with moves to any other club. And whenever I think about Rodrygo to Man City, the first thing that comes to my mind is, do they actually need him, right? Right now, City have a lot of wingers. You got Jack Grealish. You got Jeremy Doku. They just brought Savio from Girona, and that's on the left wing. On that right wing, you got Bernardo Silva, who could play there. Phil Foden, who was the player of the year, is also in that position. So I don't know if they would actually go in and try to make a bid for Rodrygo, but I don't think this man is going anywhere. Why would you want to leave Real Madrid right now? I think let's see how the season pans out, right? I'm not saying that he would never consider leaving, but all the reports and even his own tweets have said that he plans on staying at this club. It was only a few months ago that Rodrygo also signed an extension. He has a €1 billion release clause. So if City really do want him, if they want to buy him that badly, then go pay that release clause. Then we'll talk. You could go take him for $1 billion. I'll do the deal. But for the people that do want him sold, to me, it's ridiculous, bro. Like, this guy is a big game player, Mr. Champions League himself. He scores crucial goals. And we all know that he's better off that left side. Now, the issue that we may have next season is Vinny, Mbappe, and Rodrygo, they all feel more comfortable when they're playing on the left, right? But there's only one player that can do that. And you saw a lot this season in that 4-4-2, how they kind of interchanged, right? Like Vinny would start on the left, Rodrygo would start on the right, but then there'd be times where Rodrygo would pick the ball up on that left wing. So him and Vinny were rotating throughout the games, and I guess the chemistry that they have allowed them to do that. And I definitely do wonder how Mbappe coming in is going to change that kind of dynamic that they have together. But no, I do not think he will be leaving, at least not this summer. Maybe clubs will try, but I mean, look at the project that's going on right now. He's the number 11. He's a starter for the biggest club in the world. I don't think any club can necessarily make him want to leave unless he gets dropped permanently, unless he becomes a bench player, a squad rotational piece. But I cannot see that happening because I think that Rodrygo is an absolute monster. And the reason that he struggled, in my opinion, was because of the diamond. I think if you look at how the season played out, Vinny struggled at the beginning, just like Rodrygo did. But obviously, with Vinny being a better player, he adapted to that central role a little bit better than what Rodrygo did. We know that he needs to be out wide. Playing him as a central striker up top, it didn't really benefit anybody, that 4-4-2, outside of Jude. So I wasn't really that big of a fan of the diamond formation. And it's going to be interesting to see what we do next season. But I just don't think the diamond is the right move. We got to go back to the 4-3-3. Like, I know that Toni Kroos is leaving. We don't have anybody in the squad that can step up and start and replace him in terms of the quality. I know some people want this guy dropped. Some people want him sold. But I just don't think that we need to be doing that. Let's see how he performs next season. Because this season, even though he struggled a bit, he was still productive. Like, people are just overreacting and overblowing his streak of non-scoring goals and all that. But come on, guys. I can't see Rodrygo leaving. But if he was to leave Real Madrid, I mean, Man City is a club that you would think would be the most attractive, right? Like, they could probably pay him more money. He's going to be going to play underneath another great manager. And for a squad that are one of the best in the world, arguably the best. I saw the Champions League favorites for next season, and it's not Madrid, it's Man City again. So even though I don't think he will leave, I definitely do think that how we play this season and how it shakes out is definitely going to be an indicator on Rodrygo's future. I think he's going to come good. I think he's going to play a big role next season. And with all the competitions that we're in, 7, that means that let's say if we go far in every competition, which is the expectation, there's a possibility that Real Madrid are playing over 65 games next season, which is ridiculous when you actually think about it. UEFA needs to relax. But if that's the case, you need a big squad. There's going to be enough game time for everyone next season. And I think that he will go back to his best. Trust me, do not sell Rodrygo. Florentino Perez, if you're listening, this is something that we can't consider. Unless the player himself says that he wants to move, you can't be looking to move him on because I think that he is important. I think that he is one of our best players, and I don't think he's going to want to leave anyways. As I said, he's just signed an extension, €1 billion release clause. He's going to be at Madrid for a while. But let me know what you guys think about this down below in the comment section. I know that a lot of people are split on what we should do with him, but I rate him very highly, and I do not want to see him leave to Man City, Bayern Munich, anywhere. I think his future is at Madrid. And I guess with the front three that we're going to have next season, you have to look at him and assume out of any of those players, he's going to be the one that's going to have to sacrifice, right? Because he's not better than Vinny. He's not better than Mbappe. So he's going to have to sacrifice some goals Because, obviously those two are going to be the first options, right, on penalties, and they're going to probably be the two that are scoring the most goals. I think what Rodrygo can do to make himself perform well is use having Vinny and Mbappe on your squad to your advantage. They're going to attract most of the attention from the defenders. So now that's going to give you more space to operate in 1v1 situations. On top of that, you can also rack up the assists next season, right? They're going to need somebody to be that creative player. Vinny is not necessarily a creator, right? Vinny does create, but you know what I'm saying? Vinny's more direct and he's looking to shoot. Same thing with Mbappe, even though both of them can create chances. I'm not saying that they can't, but I think Rodrygo can fill up that kind of role where he's providing the assist. So, look, let's see what happens next season, though, guys. But as I said, let me know in the comment section if you think we should sell Rodrygo or not. Let's see. Few chats in here. Sam says, yo, what's up? I hope the Knicks win next year. Not me, bro. You are a Knicks fan, right? I think you told me that. Fuck the Knicks. I hate the Knicks, bro. Let's see. All right, we're still talking about basketball. Let me see. My guy below, what's going on, Brody? He said, saw the notification, had to join and say Rodrygo ain't going nowhere. He's on the brink of becoming a superstar, top 10/top 5 player. Losing him now is crazy. Yeah, and he also did come top 10 in Ballon d'Or rankings, right? Everybody thinks that he's mid, but come on now. Not everybody thinks that, but a lot of people. I mean, I've argued in enough watch-alongs this season where people are saying, yo, Rodrygo's not doing nothing. Sell him. Drop him. Somebody even told me that they think Rodrygo is going to be benched come like October, November, and they think Arda Güler is going to be starting on the right. I can't see that happening, bro. My guy Rodrygo is not going out like that. You guys know I rate this guy, okay? He's my Indian baller, right? I mean, look, he's Brazilian, but just look at the guy. We all know what he really is, right? Also, Mavs in 6. Ooh. Yo, if Luka gets a ring, that's going to put him in some conversations that a lot of people didn't have him in. Let's see. Man City want to add left wing. Yeah, but they already have 3 left wingers right now. Grealish, Doku, and then Savio from Girona, who's a very good player, is joining them this summer. So why would you go out there and now spend, let's say realistically, Rodrygo, I think if he was to be sold, it costs you like 120, 130 million. Why would City go out there and spend that money on another left winger? Like they're kind of filled at that position. So that would be a bit weird if that was the case. Rohan, what's going on, bro? He says, man, that Madrid team's going to be so good. It's funny. I cannot wait. The watch-alongs are going to be epic next season. I think Rodrygo can drop deep and play a 10. Like, okay, you know what? That's not a bad shout. But then if Rodrygo drops deep, then where do you play Jude? Or do you stick in the 4-4-2 and you have like Tchouaméni in the 6, left CM, you got Jude, right CM, you got Valverde, and then in the 10, you have Rodrygo. So then you would stay in the diamond formation. And then obviously as the game, progresses, then you're able to switch around, because even though this season we was in a 4-4-2, it still did play like a 4-3-3. Because as I said, you would see Vinny pick up the ball on that left. You'd see Rodrygo pick up the ball on the right. And then Jude is just up the pitch as if he's a striker or false 9. So there's different ways that it can work out in game when you're on the ball versus when you're off the ball. So I definitely hear what you're saying for sure. Let's see. Scott, what's going on, bro? Big up to you for being back, man. Let me see. Oh, what does that mean? Like Ronaldinho. Oh, I know what you mean. Hey, Solomon, what's going on, man? Big up to you, bro. Definitely remember you from Staffy's channel. Appreciate you joining, man. Guys, make sure to smash that like button. And also, as I said, let me know what you guys think about some of the transfer rumors that I'm talking about. But let's move over Rodrygo, though. Let's talk about my guy, Bruno Fernandes, right? Now, I called him my guy, but I do not like Bruno Fernandes in terms of on the pitch. I don't think he's that good of a midfielder. I know that he puts up GA and everybody rates him because of that. But to me, my eye test does not lie. And what I see from him on a consistent basis is inconsistency. As a midfielder that can't control the ball, that always puts his teams in very peculiar situations because he makes too many mistakes. I just don't think Bruno is the guy that Man United need to be giving a new contract to. And I don't think that he's the guy that Man United need to be building around, because they've been building around him for the last few years. And what have Man United gotten from that? Mid. Yeah, they won the Carabao Cup, and then they won the FA Cup this season. But in terms of what the standards are at Manchester United, it's not been good. And I think Bruno plays a large part of that. Obviously, it's not all his fault. And I do think United are actually better with him out there. But according to all the reports, he's trying to get a new contract. He still has 2 years left on his current deal. He wants 3 more years. So he wants to be at United until he's about 35 years old. And he also wants to be one of the highest paid players at the club. And what Bruno Fernandes is doing is manipulation, because he's going out there and telling the media that I want to stay at United forever, or I'll stay until they don't want me. So he's already trying to preface it as if he leaves, it's the club's fault. But his agent is out there talking to other teams. So clearly they're weighing their options. And I see some people are mad that Bruno Fernandes' agent is out there talking to other teams, but that's not a problem if we're going to be honest. That's the agent's job, is to try and find the best deal for Bruno Fernandes. But what I don't like is how he's trying to gaslight people into making it seem like, yeah, I just want to stay at Man United no matter what. That's not true, bro. You want to stay at Man United on a new 3-year contract, right, to add on to your already 2 years, and you want to be the highest paid player at the club. Those are the conditions in which you'd want to stay at Man United. And because there's so much speculation going on about Bruno right now, he's been linked with the move to Bayern Munich and Barcelona. Now, I remember I was talking to Staffy and Zaire, and I promise you, I think Staffy was trying to gaslight us by thinking, or by saying, that Bruno Fernandes can go to Bayern Munich and be a good asset for them. Where would he play? You would really displace Jamal Musiala to fit Bruno Fernandes into your team? On top of that, how much money would he cost? Transfer market has him valued at 70 million. How much would you pay for Bruno Fernandes? Because the guy's going to be 30 next season, and you're going to probably have to give him a 4 or 5 year deal, and he's going to want a big pay rise. Is he worth that kind of money? I don't think Bruno can play in a team that holds the ball, because that's not what Bruno does. He always likes to play chaotic. He's a sporadic player. Maybe he's not even a midfielder. Maybe if Bruno played as like a false 9 or even a number 9 or a center forward, let's just call him a center forward, then maybe he could do a lot better, because you don't really have to hold the ball like that up there. You just got to worry about putting the ball into the back of the net. But I don't see him going to Bayern. I can't see Vincent Kompany looking at his squad and saying, you know what we need for next season to try to win back the Bundesliga from Leverkusen, to go on and try to win the Champions League and win all the domestic cups in Germany? Yeah, give me Bruno Fernandes. I cannot see Vincent Kompany actually thinking that. As far as Barcelona are concerned, I don't think, and by the way, I don't think that Bruno starts for Bayern. No. Unless you play him in like a deeper role. But then how would that work? Because I'm not moving Musiala from the middle. And I know people were saying, oh, well, you could put Musiala on the left. Yeah, but then why would you drop Serge Gnabry or Kingsley Coman to fit in Bruno? I don't really understand that. So I can't see him going to Bayern, and then I can't see him going to Barcelona, mainly because they don't have the money, right? Everybody talks to me about how broke Barca are, but yet here they are, again, being linked to all these big-name players. And we'll talk about Barcelona a few more times throughout this stream. But I've already told you guys, I think Barca are lying. They are not as broke as they want us to believe. Yes, I think there are financial issues there, but I don't think it's as deep as what they're trying to make it out to be. I think that they just don't want to get fleeced. They don't want to pay high transfer fees for players. So they're going to say, yeah, we don't have that much money. Brother, Barcelona are one of the biggest clubs in the world. They generate hundreds of millions every single season through shirt sales, merchandise, ticket sales, sponsorships, ad revenue, all that. Barca make bread. On top of that, they just got a new Nike contract, because you remember before there was talks about Barcelona were going to leave Nike and start making their own kits. And then Nike said, whoa, hold on now. Because Barca, again, a big club, they make a lot of money from them. They gave them a 10-year deal worth what? Like $150 million a season. or something crazy like that. So now Barcelona also have the biggest kit sponsorship deal in the world. These guys are not that broke. They generate the most. Well, they're one of the clubs that generate the most money. Like Barca are definitely top 5 in income per season. So they may try to gaslight us and say they don't have the bread, right? Like, oh, we can't, we're in a financial crisis. Bro, I do not believe them. They were in a financial crisis and still somehow signed Rafinha, Lewandowski, Jules Koundé, and all these other players. Like, get the hell out of here. But I also don't think that Bruno can fit into Barcelona's system. Again, they want to hold the ball. I'm not saying that Bruno can't do it. I just have not seen him do it. Like, how can he play in a system like that where they slow down the game, pass back and forward, tiki-taka kind of football, right? Like, Bruno cannot play in that. Like, Bruno needs to play in a team that's suited just like how Man United play. On the counter, and they're just trying to play hero ball. That's what he does. And also, does Bruno get into Barca's midfield? Let's think about it. Frenkie de Jong, Pedri, and then Gundo. Does Bruno get in there? Again, people, I'm not saying that he's trash. I just do not like him as a footballer. I don't like watching him. I think it's just terrible. For me, a midfielder that can't hold the ball and that always puts his teams in bad situations because of his lack of ability making, or that's not the right word. His lack of I'm drawing a blank here. Bruno's lack. You guys know what I'm trying to say, right? Like, his decision making is just not there. Loses the ball. Next thing you know, Man United are put underneath a lot of pressure because he lost the ball in the middle of the park. That's usually where games are won and lost. I'm not going to even try to think of the word that I said. But, I mean, look, the links are there. And if I'm Man United, I would look to cash in on him. I don't know if anybody would buy him. I don't know if anybody would want to spend serious money on him. I see that he's also linked with the move to Saudi Arabia as well. Maybe Al Nassr. He could link up with Cristiano Ronaldo. But, yeah, Bruno for me is just not the guy. But let me know what you guys think about Bruno Fernandes, Bayern Munich or Barcelona. What would be a better fit for you? I think it's going to be hard to get rid of him, though, if I'm being honest. Because I think they're going to want too much money. Let me see. What you guys saying, though? Okay, Fernandes and Rashford need to go to start the rebuild. I agree. I think it depends on what kind of football do Man United want to play, right? Because as of the time of this recording, Ten Hag is still their manager. So if Ten Hag stays, then I think Bruno is fine at Man United. But if they go get a manager that wants to play possession, attacking football where they're going to slow down the play, right? They're going to hold the ball, sideways passing. They're going to look to break down teams that way. You can't have Bruno in your team. So we're going to have to see what Man United's board wants to do. Get Coman out of Bayern Munich? What? You don't rate Kingsley Coman? He's a good player. You don't think Bayern are going to win anything? I don't think they're going to win Champions League, but they're going to try to win it, right? It's Bayern Munich. They're not going to go into any competition saying, yeah, we're not going to win. We're just happy to be here. That's not how Bayern operate, bro. They arguably have one of the highest standards in world football. If Barca had funds, wouldn't Messi be there? That's actually true. Yeah, because they couldn't re-sign him because of money, right? And you know what's so crazy? This narrative that a lot of Barcelona fans and people like to push out is, oh, Real Madrid spend so much money. Barca do it the right way. Barca have spent, not as much, and they go through their academy. La Masia, look at Lamine Yamal, Kubarsi, Ansu Fati, and all these other. Get the hell out of here, bro. I actually saw some of the numbers. Do you guys know that in the last, I think, 10 years or 5 years, Barcelona have spent 40 million more than Real Madrid? Go look at the top 10 highest transfers in La Liga history. Real Madrid only have 4 players on that list. The first 3 are all Barcelona signings. Ousmane Dembele, Coutinho, Griezmann. They're frauds. But yeah, I agree. If Barca had money, then I don't think Messi would have left. So, fair enough. Let's see. Christopher says, I'm a United fan. I want them to play possession-based football. I think that they will, bro, because you guys brought in Barada from Man City. He's not going to be happy with the style of play that you guys have right now. It's just not sustainable. You guys are getting outplayed every single week. Teams are having more possession, more shots, and you guys look like a small club. Like, United play like they're Luton Town, right? Like, they're trying to defend and then kick the ball over the top and then run after it, right? Like, come on now, bro. You're Manchester United. Like, that's not how you should be playing ball. At least in my eyes. I don't think big clubs that spend billions like what United have should be looking like that on the pitch. And I think that Ineos are going to definitely look to change that. That's why, even though Ten Hag has not been sacked yet, I believe he's going to be sacked. Let's see. Bruno is not that good. He can't control a midfield. No team is breaking the book for him. Exactly. And United were going to probably want like 90 million to sell this guy. I would not do that if I was them. Let's see. Who wouldn't go to Saudi? De Bruyne said he can make weight in Saudi in 3 years. Yeah, exactly. I mean, and again, I don't blame any players that go to Saudi for the money. I mean, it's their job. When you go to your job, right? And not you, Scott, just in general. When you go to your job, do you go there and say, no, don't give me the most money that you can possibly give me? No. I'm working here for passion. I'm working here because I love it. No, I want the most money possible. What are we talking about? But let's move on, people. Let's move on. Now, we got to talk about Benjamin Sesko. This guy has been in the news a lot lately. Chelsea and Arsenal. That seems like the two clubs who are in for him. And it actually pisses me off because I like Arsenal, right? They are my favorite English team. And the fact that they bottled the Premier League the year before last season, and then this past season, they lost it by 1 game. I was expecting them to hit this summer transfer market and go after world-class or already proven players. But what do Arsenal do? The same old shit. Going after another young kid, a 20-year-old striker that doesn't start for RB Leipzig. That's how Arsenal plan on bridging the gap between them and Man City. That's how they plan on actually winning some damn trophies. That's how they plan on moving forward for next season. Now, I don't like this deal at all. All that this tells me with Arsenal being this heavily linked to him is that they're not serious. Arsenal are just happy being in the conversation. They don't actually want to compete. They don't actually want to win. They're just happy with their names being in the same sentence as Man City. And it's sad. It's actually sad because there are much better strikers out there that are already Premier League proven that Arsenal can go get. That would be a statement signing. Ivan Toney only has 12 months left on his deal. He's at freaking Brentford. You don't think he'd force that move? Go get Toney. I think he's one of the best strikers available on the market. Ivan Toney can do everything. He can drop deep. He can hold up play. He can score. He's good with the ball in the box. He's also good in the air as well. He's a complete package. He would literally fit Arsenal's style of play. This man scored 20 goals for Brentford. Imagine what he would do at Arsenal with better players and more chances. Arsenal are not serious, bro. They don't actually want to win. They just like being involved. They like being brought up in the title race. But the move that I'm seeing them linked with, it doesn't impress me. It doesn't strike me as a team that needs to win something because I think Arsenal need to win a trophy immediately. And I think if Arteta goes another season without winning something, he has to be sacked. If they come second again next season and they didn't win FA Cup, Champions League, even the Carabao Cup, you have to sack this manager because clearly he's not the right man for the job. And I don't know if you guys would agree with me. Maybe I'm being too harsh. But I think the patience is running out with this manager. How much more money should he spend before people can demand you to win things? Because he did win a trophy in his first 5 months, the FA Cup. But that was with Unai Emery's squad. That's the same squad that everybody likes to tell me is so shit that he had to start from zero. He had to rebuild and get rid of so much deadwood. That's what everybody tells me about that same squad that's won him his only trophy. So, yeah, sort it out. Sort it out if you are Arsenal, because it's actually getting ridiculous. 20 years, and you haven't won the league. No trophies in the last 4 seasons. Well, 4 years, I should say. Are you mad? Man City and Chelsea are right behind Arsenal in terms of major trophies overall. If this continues in a few seasons, Chelsea and Man City are probably going to pass Arsenal in terms of major trophies. Arsenal are the 3rd biggest club in England. And the only reason why they're the 3rd biggest club is because of what they've won. Major trophies is what puts you in that conversation. And in a few years, we're going to be talking about Arsenal being the 5th biggest club because they wanted to keep trusting the process and doing a youth movement. 20-year-old backup striker at RB Leipzig. Get the hell out of here. Now, as far as Chelsea are concerned, I think this would be a better signing for Chelsea, right? Because I don't think Chelsea are in any situation to win the league next season. I think they have a good squad, and I think Chelsea will surprise people next season. But there's no expectations for them to win the league. So they can take a gamble on a Sesko because the expectations are not as high for Chelsea next season as it is for Arsenal. Now, I made a bold prediction before Pochettino got sacked, and I said I think next season Chelsea will bridge the gap and they will come 3rd. Now, with this Enzo Maresca guy here, maybe I got to fall back. I think Chelsea will come top 5. And I think they will win. Like, I think the expectations for Chelsea has to be top 5 and deep runs in the FA Cup, Carabao Cup, and you have to win the Conference League. No excuses. If they don't win that competition, some questions. Bro, I'm not saying to sack the manager, but I would sack the manager. That's all that I'm. The Conference League. Are you mad? Olympiacos won it this year. They play in the Greek League. Chelsea should walk that competition. But as far as their team is concerned, they do need a striker, right? Nicholas Jackson is a good player, right? But he should not be starting for you week in, week out. That is a £1 billion squad right there. How the hell did Nicholas Jackson end up being your main man up front? I think that he does have good qualities, right? He can hold the ball up, can link play. He's good on the ball as well. He has good tech, but he can't put the ball into the back of the net consistently. And it's cost Chelsea quite a few times last season in games where they created chances. And I'm like, yo, how the hell have Chelsea not scored yet? Like against Man City in the FA Cup semifinals, they should have beat them. They had multiple chances that they wasted. Against Liverpool, they outplayed them in the Carabao Cup final. Again, weren't clinical. So they do need a striker. Now, they were linked to Ivan Toney, Victor Osimhen, a bunch of other strikers. And now Sesko, it looks like this is the player that they are trying to actually sign. I like it more for Chelsea than I do Arsenal because he's a project. Nobody knows what they're going to get from this kid. So why, if you're trying to win the title and if you're in the middle of a title race, if you're Arsenal, why would you go out there and sign him? When Ivan Toney, Victor Osimhen, shit, maybe even Julián Álvarez is available this summer. Go out there and make a statement. Ollie Watkins, Alexander Isaac, but you want to be cheap and go out there and spend maybe 50 million on Sesko. And then when Arsenal don't win it next year, people are going to want to talk about how, oh, Man City, 115 charges. Bro, like, no. The reason why City dominate the Premier League is because they have the most ambition. They're the club that spends, and they're just so well run. And they're not on a PR thing. All these other clubs are PR clubs, bro. They don't actually care about winning. And City are going to keep winning even after Pep leaves until another club shows that they're serious. That's my thing. Like, people just act like if Pep leaves next season, after next season, they're going to just fall off a cliff and be trash. City are one of the best run clubs in the world. You think their owner isn't going to go out there and get another world-class manager that's going to be able to sustain what they already have? And this was the worst City team that we've seen in a while this season. And they still won the league. Imagine next season when they go out there and they already got Savio coming in. They got Yan Couto coming back on loan from Girona as well. They're linked to Bruno Guimaraes. They're linked to a bunch of players, and they're probably going to sign a few of them. They're not going to be relying on Kovacic, Matheus Nunes, players like that. So if Arsenal want to show that they're serious, you go out there and you go sign a proven striker, not Benjamin Sesko. But you guys let me know in the chat if you think I'm crazy or if you do like Sesko to Arsenal or Chelsea. Which club do you think needs him more? But let's head over to the chat and see what you guys are saying. Let me see. What jersey? Now, this is not a jersey, bro. This is a shirt from a brand. It's called Elfric Eden. It's a shirt, though. It does look like a jersey, though, right? Like, I was at work today, and a few people asked me, like, what jersey I was wearing. I'm like, nah, it's just a regular shirt. But it's super nice, though. They're a little pricey. They're a little pricey over there at Elfric Eden, man. But, yeah, that's where the shirt's from. Let me see. So, Bilal says, Arsenal are one decent striker away from winning the Prem. But regardless, they need to win next season, no matter what happens this summer. I agree. No more excuses for them, bro. Let's see. Rajat says Watkins or Solanke would be better options. I mean, and even though I don't even rate Solanke like that from Bournemouth, but he's more Premier League proven than what Sesko is. Who the hell knows what Sesko is going to give you in the Prem? He bagged what, like 13 goals in the Bundesliga? How's he going to do in the Prem where it's much faster, much more physical, and Arsenal don't play the same way that RB Leipzig do? RB Leipzig, a lot of his goals come off the break. Arsenal, they break teams down slowly. They're not, hitting teams on the counter like that, really. I don't know, man. It's just frustrating because I want to see Arsenal win it. But it's like the club, they just don't care. They don't. What streaming app is that I'm using right now? This is StreamYard, bro. This is StreamYard. And it's actually not giving me problems today. I hope I did not just jinx it. Oh, my goodness. But, yo, shout out to everybody that's in here, guys. Definitely make sure to smash that like button and subscribe if you guys have not done so already. And also, get in the chat. We're live. We're reading the comments. We're all just talking in here about some of these transfers. But also says, no, completely agree. It's Arteta out. If they don't win, he may have built a great team, but if he can't deliver, exactly. And I think one of the Arsenal legends made a good point. I'm forgetting the guy's name. Damn, it was one of them. And he recently came out and said, this Arsenal team had a good season, but in 10 years, nobody's going to remember it. And that's a fact. Nobody will care because you did not win anything. And I think Arteta does need some credit for how far he's taken them, right? But I don't think he's the man for the job. Maybe he's the guy that comes in and he can only take you to a certain point. And now you maybe need to go out there and get a proven manager that can work with this squad and get them over the line. But Arsenal have not won a league in 20 years. That is insane. It's not good enough. But, it is what it is, man. Let's see. Dad says if he doesn't win anything, it's been 5-6 years without Carabao Cup or FA. It's true, bro. He's probably great in training, not so much in games. Jackson. Yeah, I mean, I think if Jackson was more clinical, Chelsea wouldn't need a striker. Thanks, bro. Appreciate you, man. And you also say you like Vlahovic. That's who I assume you're talking about, right? The striker from Juve. Yeah, I mean, Vlahovic was linked to Arsenal a few seasons ago. Then he ended up going to Juve, and I haven't really heard that much from him, to be honest. I only watched like 2 Juve games this season, so I don't even know how he's doing in Italy at the moment. But I know that they won a trophy, right? And Allegri's last game, they won a trophy. So, seems like they get it over there, but at Arsenal, they just don't. If they were ambitious, they would get Osimhen. He is a proper finisher. Sam, I think you said that before. I don't actually rate Victor Osimhen. I think that I've told you that. To me, the guy is kind of wasteful, and I think he's going to cost way too much money It'd have to be a Premier League record to bring him in. Napoli are not an easy club to negotiate with. They're basically the Italian mafia. These guys are going to want a lot of money to sell Osimhen, and I just do not think he's going to be worth that. But that's just me. That is just me. Yo, I have so much stories to get into. Oh my goodness. How much time do we have left? All right. I have a little over an hour. So let's go, people. Let's go. Now, let's talk about Julián Álvarez. My guy. I don't know if you guys have heard me say this before, but if you haven't, you're going to hear it right now. I think Julián Álvarez is better than Erling Haaland. I think Julián Álvarez is the best striker at Man City. And there's reports that he may want to leave this summer because he wants to start. And obviously, that's going to be pretty hard to do at Man City with Erling Haaland there. Now, he's being linked to a bunch of clubs. They're talking about Atletico Madrid, Chelsea, PSG, and Man United. I wonder why Arsenal aren't in the race for Julián Álvarez. He is a very good striker. And I've always said that Ivan Toney was the best striker available this summer. It's now Julián Álvarez if he's up for sale. And the craziest thing is, it's reported that Man City only wants 60 million pounds to sell him. Are they dumb? Now, I know that Julián Álvarez is not a starter. He is a backup. And I think it is going to be hard to get him from City because I don't believe they want to sell him. I think he is an important player for them. But there's no way he's only going for 60 M's. 60 M's for Julián Álvarez would be the best deal of the summer for any club that buys a striker. This guy's an absolute monster. Do anything that you guys need. He can hold up the ball, can link play. He's very good technically. And I think if he started for Man City, I don't think he'd score as many goals as Haaland does because what Haaland's doing is ridiculous. I will give him his. I think Haaland is the best finisher in the world, and his off-ball movement is elite. But I think Julián Álvarez can bag about 28 to 30 goals. I think he can. I think Julián Álvarez is a player that can be in the 40 range for GA because he gets his teammates involved. He's that kind of player. He is the complete striker, in my opinion. And the only reason that he's not talked about more is because he doesn't start. But I rate him very highly. I've said it before. If Real Madrid did not get Mbappe, I would have wanted Julián Álvarez from Man City. That would have been my striker to go out there and get, in my opinion. But obviously, Mbappe has joined Madrid, so we don't need a striker. But I would have taken Julián Álvarez because I think he's that good. He offers you so much more than what Haaland does. I've said it. If Haaland's not scoring a 2-yard tap-in, if he's not getting great service, he might as well not be out there. He's just doing cardio. Julián Álvarez gets his teammates involved, and I think he would eat, and I think his teammates would eat as well. Now, the reports are saying that the money that Man City may want, teams can't afford, except for PSG. Now, I'm going to talk about his fit in each of these teams in a second, but let's start off with PSG. I can definitely see him going there, and it makes sense. They've just lost Mbappe, and their attack is not that good. Dembele, failed wonder kid. Asensio, that's my guy, was at Madrid, won some trophies with us, but he's not that good either. Goncalo Ramos, what's he done? Muani, who they bought last summer for a lot of money, what's he done? I think Julián Álvarez walks in there day one, and he's the striker, day one. And I think PSG are going to be in the market for a few big-name attacking players because you can't lose Mbappe for free and not respond. The fans are going to demand signings from that club. And I think PSG, they're loaded. They have the money. So that won't be an issue. It'll just be a matter of would Julián Álvarez want to play in France? And I think he would. He could be the face of their attack. So PSG, Julián Álvarez, I think he would tear up League One. And I think that would be a great signing for them. Even though I didn't know Alvarez could possibly be available this summer because I predicted PSG to go sign Victor Osimhen and Rafael Leao. I thought those would be the two big attacking signings that they would get to kind of replace Mbappe's output. Atletico Madrid, They're linked to Julián Álvarez as well. We already know Atletico Madrid always have a great striker up front. And they do have some success with the Argentinian strikers, right? Sergio Aguero was at Atletico Madrid. And they may be looking for some strikers this summer because 3 of their strikers might leave. Memphis Depay has left the club on a free. Alvaro Morata has a release clause of 12 million. And I think Antoine Griezmann has a release clause in the 20 millions. How the hell do Morata and Griezmann both have release clauses in their contracts that are that low? That seems like bad business. I don't know about you guys, but when I play FIFA and when I'm signing players and they try to insult or insert a release clause in the negotiations, I tell their agent, fuck out of here. We're not adding that, right? Nobody's about to trigger that and buy my player off me. No, if you want to buy my player, you got to negotiate with me. So, yeah, Atletico Madrid, they're going to be desperate for a striker because I definitely think Antoine Griezmann and Alvaro Morata, I can definitely see somebody triggering those release clauses. And I think Antoine Griezmann, that would be a fantastic signing, by the way. 25 million for Griezmann. He is a little bit older, right? Like 32 or 33, but he's still class. That's another striker that Arsenal should go out there and get over Benjamin Sesko, by the way, even though we're not talking about that. But, yeah, I think Alvarez would work in that Atletico Madrid system. And I think he would bag goals for Diego Simeone, who's also Argentinian. Now, I don't know how much money they have to offer, right? We don't usually see Atletico go out there and spend crazy amounts, even though they have when they bought João Félix and a few other players like Thomas Lemar from Monaco. So they have splashed the cash. And maybe they'll do that this summer, especially with Depay leaving and then the possible exits of Griezmann and also Morata. Now, I don't like Atletico. I think they're annoying as shit. The way that they play pisses me off, right? They're like a little fly that's just buzzing around near your ear, right? Like, they're the only team that beat us last season. I absolutely despise Atletico Madrid. They are so damn annoying. But I cannot lie. This would be a very good signing for them. Chelsea. If Chelsea go out there and sign Julián Álvarez, I'm back with my Chelsea propaganda. I've been bigging them up. They have a good squad. Their players are young, and I think everybody talking about Chelsea like they're just so trash and that they're finished and that they're washed, I don't believe all that. Because if you look at their team, Cole Palmer, one of the best attackers in the Prem. You have Reece James, who's coming back from injury, who I think is going to be the best right back. And I think Reece James is the best right back in the world when he's fit. The problem is he's never fit. So, I mean, fair enough. But Malo Gusto was also a very good player for them. You got Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo, and Kunku. You got Levi Caldwell. Ian Matson might come back from loan. Like, they have quality in that side, people. And if they went out there and signed Julián Álvarez, if all the reports are true that Enzo Maresca is basically a great value Pep, this man would cook in that system. In a possession-based system, Julián Álvarez would thrive. But would Man City want to sell to a Premier League club? A player of this caliber? I know some people say, oh, well, look, Arsenal bought Gabriel Jesus and Zinchenko. Yeah, that's because Pep sabotaged them. Pep knew that those two players were shit. Julián Álvarez is not shit. But if I'm Chelsea, I would do this deal as well. And then you also have Manchester United. They clearly need a striker. Rasmus Højlund is shit. He's not anywhere near the kind of player that Julián Álvarez is. But it doesn't really matter who United signed this summer if Ten Hag remains their manager. Because at the time of this recording, Ten Hag has not been sacked yet. So I don't think any attacking players would thrive at Man United at the current moment. Because Julián Álvarez is not a player that you buy to have him track all the way back and defend for 60% of the game. And then you're trying to just hoof a ball over the top to Rashford or Megan Rapinoe. No, Julián Álvarez needs to be in a team that's going to be playing with the ball. So I think all four of these teams can use him. And if I had to actually rank the order in which I think he would, I think maybe PSG first, Atletico second, Chelsea third, and Man United fourth. On top of that, why the hell would Man City want to sell Manchester United? a player like Julián Álvarez? Why would they help them out like that? But there are links there, right? Barada is now at Man United, and I'm pretty sure he's brought some of his guys over as well. So maybe they can tap up Julián Álvarez. But if I'm Álvarez, I'm at Man City. I've won the Premier League a couple times, won the Champions League, Club World Cup, FA Cup. Like, why would I want to go to Man United? Why would I want to stay? Actually, you know what? Why would I even want to stay in England if I'm not going to be playing for Man City? I might as well leave the country. That's how I would be thinking about it, right? Especially Manchester United. Like, why the hell would I want to go there right now and have to play against Man City and watch them win every single season? Nah, bro. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about Julián Álvarez. Am I overrating him, or have I been spot on? And also let me know, which of these teams do you think should go out there and sign him? I think all four can use him. And if I knew that he was available, bro, like, I didn't think City would want to sell him. But if it's true, according to all the reports, he wants to be starting and he may look for a move, this is the striker to go get. It is. Especially because, look at it. Look, see right here. It says they want 80 million euros. Convert that to pounds. That's like 67 million. That is nothing. That's so cheap. His value is 90 M's. I'm thinking that Julián Álvarez would cost like 100 million. They're talking about 60. How do you not do that deal? How do you not call his agent to see if he'd want to join? I would be on the phone right now with him if we didn't get Mbappe. This was the guy that I wanted. And whoever watches me often can verify that I actually said that. But yeah, man, Julián Álvarez is cold. He's cold. And I think wherever he goes, he's going to smash it. He's going to smash it, bro. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, Scott says Man City won't sell to Arsenal. I agree. They won't sell a player like Julián Álvarez to Arsenal. No. Right? Like the Zinchenkos and the Gabriel Jesus, like the bum players. Yeah, like they'll probably sell Arsenal Matheus Nunes, right? Arsenal need a CM, right? I can definitely see them going in for Matheus Nunes. City don't rate him. But a player like Alvarez? No way, bro. No way. I agree, though. Like, why would you want to help out Arsenal, especially with them kind of pushing you now in the title race? I agree. Let's see. All right, so Bilal doesn't agree. Look, see, this is why Bilal is my guy. We always go back and forth on things, and I love it. I love it. So he says, that's a crazy take. Haaland is slightly overrated, but he's still the most dangerous player in the box and very clinical. Although I do want to see Alvarez shine at another club. I agree. I think Haaland is clinical in the box, and he is dangerous, and he does have great off-ball movement. But just his overall package as an overall footballer, I don't rate Haaland. And I don't think that he can play in that many systems. Like, I think you have to tailor your team to a specific way if you want Haaland to be in there. I think he has to play in a team, for example. Okay, so like when Haaland was being linked to Madrid, I said that wouldn't work because we wouldn't play the way that he needs. He needs to be fed a lot of chances. He needs crosses coming into the box. He needs players like Phil Foden, Kevin De Bruyne to be putting the Bernardo Silva to be feeding him on a plate. So to me, I think Julián Álvarez is much more versatile. Alvarez can play in more systems than Haaland can. Haaland needs to be in a very specific style of play. And I think he's a product of the systems that he's been in. That's just my thing. Let's see. I don't want to miss anybody's stuff, but I don't want to waste too much time, though, people. Okay, so Sam says, Alvarez is class. He needs to leave for the good of his career. I see him going to Atletico because they will try to respond to something of Mbappe. Fair enough. Yeah, and I mean, look, Atletico, they always have good strikers. They always do. So I can't see him going there. I just think PSG would be able to outbid them. Let's say if there's a bidding war for Alvarez, I think they can spend more money than what Atletico can, and they would also be able to offer him a bigger deal. And to be honest, I think PSG is a more attractive club than Atletico, right? If you go to Atletico, you got to go against Barcelona and Real Madrid. Like, why the hell would I want to do that every season? your biggest rivals are going to just dominate you year in, year out and win all the trophies. I'm not trying to see that. If you go to PSG, yeah, you might not win the Champions League, but you already won one with Man City. You'll get more money, and you'll definitely win all the trophies in France. But let's see. Would you rate Alvarez up there with Cole Palmer? So ability-wise, yes, right? I think Julián Álvarez, if he leaves Man City, he'll be a top 10 striker next year in the world. But I have to see it first, right? This is just me talking about him from what I think he can do based off his ability. But he has to actually do it. So I think on ability, yes, he is up there. But he's also older than Palmer because Alvarez is 24 years old, bro. He's not that young. We know 24 years old in sports, you're damn near a senior citizen, right? So, I mean, he is older than a lot of these guys who are younger than him that people rate. But look, 24 is a good age to make that move. And again, he's already won everything at Man City. But I would like to see him prove it first before I just put him in that conversation. But I definitely think that off of ability and off of his potential, yeah, for sure. Let's see. That's the opposite of what he wants because Griezmann will be the starter at Atletico, in my opinion, unless they play two strikers. Yeah, but Bilal, Griezmann has a release clause in his contract for $25 million. He might be leaving this summer, bro. I think that's why they'd go out there and get because Memphis Depay is on a free, by the way, another striker that I think is better than Benjamin Sesko, just saying. But yeah, Depay is leaving. Alvaro Morata has a 12 million euro release clause, and Griezmann has a 25 million euro release clause. That's super cheap. So I think teams are going to probably take those two players off of Atleti. And now they've lost 3 strikers in one window? That's crazy. So let's see. I think you're spot on. Alvarez a quality player. My guy, Christopher. Let me see. And then Scott says Haaland is a flat-out direct striker. Yeah, it's fair. It's fair. All right, let's move on, people, because I still do have a lot of things to get into. Now, let's switch over to Barcelona because João Cancelo and João Félix might be able to remain at the club for next season. Now, the two Joãos, right? And what's going on with that name, right? You have João Félix, João Cancelo. Benfica have a João Neves. Is that just like a really popular name in Portugal? Clearly, it must be because I feel like I'm always hearing about a João somewhere. Anyways, these two guys may be able to stay at Barcelona for next season. The club wants to keep them, and they're working on possibly bringing them back on loan. Now, I don't understand why Man City or Atletico Madrid would loan Barcelona these two players again. I didn't agree with them loaning them the first time. If I'm Man City, João Cancelo is very important to Barca. But they do have Alex, what's the guy's name? Baldy, Batty, whatever his name is. He is going to be coming back next season. Now, do you move João Cancelo to right back? Who knows? But he is a good player, right? He's a modern fullback in terms of defensively, he's not all that good. But what he offers you in attack, that's what makes him special. The way that he can also invert into midfield, that's his bread and butter, is going forward with the ball. Man City could probably make 35 to 40 million if they sell him to somebody. Why the hell would they loan him to Barcelona again? Is this just Pep doing them a favor? I don't know. But I wouldn't agree with it because how does this benefit Man City? Sell him for profit. And I don't understand what happened between João Cancelo and Pep Guardiola. This guy was one of the best left backs in the world at Man City. All of a sudden, he gets dropped. Rico Lewis starts playing a bit more. He goes on loan to Bayern Munich, João Cancelo. And now he's on loan at Barcelona. Like, what's happened? I know that some reports were saying that they had a falling out, but I don't really remember what exactly led to João Cancelo being axed out of Man City squad and being on loan after being one of the best fullbacks in world football for like 2 seasons. That's a very strange one. Now, as far as João Félix is concerned with Atletico Madrid, yeah, he can't go back there. I'll just put it that way. Those fans hate this man. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I do not believe João Félix remembered throughout this season that he was only on loan at Barca, not a permanent transfer. Because the way that this guy was talking, I would have thought Barca signed him up on a 5-year contract already. He was trying to recruit players to join Barca next season when they were talking about Bernardo Silva. When they played Atletico Madrid twice this season, he scored against them both times, and he celebrated both times. The fans at Atleti do not like him. João Félix does not have a home there. Now, if I'm Atletico Madrid, giving him to Barcelona on another loan is idiotic because Barca finished higher than you. He scored on you twice, and they're one of your main rivals in terms of winning trophies in Spain. Why would you help them out? I think João Félix can go for anywhere from 30 to 40 million. Now, obviously, Barca, they say that they have financial restrictions and they're so broke, but I wouldn't care if I'm another club. Like, no, you're not getting these 2 quality players for free for another loan. But yeah, I mean, the club wants them, and I think they should go back to Barca. They should want to, right? I think João Félix is a very good player. I know that, his time at Atleti didn't work out. They bought him for all that money, and he has been a flop for them. But I like João Félix. I actually like players like him. They're very nice to watch, and I think the skills that he has, he can still contribute, and he can still be a very good player in a good squad. But obviously, he's not the guy that you're going to put up front to bag you 20 or 30 goals a season. No, that's not the kind of player that he is. And he also started off last season with Barca on fire. He was one of their best players. And then like Leny Yoro started starting games, and then they just dropped Félix. So I don't know if he had a falling out with Xavi at the time. Who knows? Because reports were saying that Xavi didn't want João Félix back. But I think Hansi Flick clearly rates him, also rates João Cancelo as well. So they're trying to get a deal done for both of them. As I said, I would not loan them either of these players if I'm the respective parent clubs. I'd tell you to buy them. And if you can't buy them, then we'll sell them to somebody else. Because I don't think teams should be trying to help Barcelona out. I don't really understand that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this down below. Do you think Barca will be able to keep both of them? Or you think they might have to pick between the 2? And then if you had to pick, I mean, which one would you keep? I think if I'm Barca and I could only keep one of these Joãos, I would maybe just keep João Félix. João Cancelo, look, he's good on the ball, and he does offer you something different in attack. But as a fullback, your main job is to defend, and he is not good at that at all. You guys saw Lucas Vázquez was cooking him in El Clasico at the Bernabeu. João Cancelo cost Barcelona twice because Lucas Vázquez scored because he wasn't being marked properly by Cancelo, and he also was responsible for the penalty as well. So Félix is younger, and I think he fits how Barcelona wants to play. I think Cancelo does as well, but he's a bit older, so like there's no resale value on him really. I think Félix, that's who I would choose if I had to pick one of the 2. But if João Félix cannot stay at Barcelona real quick, I wonder what the hell he's going to do. Because as I said, this guy cannot go back to Atletico Madrid. And he was already on loan at Chelsea. I don't know. Maybe I could see him going to a team like Bayern, like a PSG, maybe even a Man United, right? But yeah, that's going to be interesting to see, though, what happens because those fans hate him. But Barca, Fabrizio says that they're trying to work out this deal. Let's see. Big up to the Florida. Okay, yes, sir. My guy in the sunny state. Yo, how's the weather in Florida right now? Because where I'm at, it's hot as hell. I'm not going to lie. It's hot. Today was burning. It's ridiculous, actually. Let me see. Think or say what you want about Barca. They will always attract talent. I agree. Look, Barca are a huge club. I'd be lying to try to discredit them. I think they've fallen off compared to what they used to be. But for sure, Barca are a huge club. And I think a lot of players would want to play for them. I agree. Yeah, Felix is good, man. He's good. He's so disrespected. And I don't really think that he deserves that, to be fair to him. Hold on. Hold on. 1 second, guys. 1 second. Hold on. What am I trying to do here? Yeah, give me 1 second, people. Okay, all good. We are back. My fault, guys. Yeah, but let's move forward, though. Now, we all know this keeper right here, Kepa, was on loan at Real Madrid last season. Won the Spanish Super Cup, La Liga, and the Champions League. This man lived the dream for one season. But now, it's over. It's back to reality for Kepa. He has to go back to Chelsea. I would like everybody that watches this video to say a quick prayer for Kepa, because that's just rough. That's like having a 2023 Lamborghini and you get to keep it for 1 year. But then after that year, you got to go back to riding your bike. What a downgrade. And I know Kepa's not doing okay mentally. I was making some jokes during that Champions League final. I mean, it was played in London. I was like, Kepa might as well just stay. He got to go back to Chelsea anyways. Chelsea are based in London. You might as well not come back to Spain, brother. But according to reports, they're saying that Chelsea and Kepa are going to have talks this summer. And they're going to try to figure out what the future holds for him. I think Enzo Maresca wants goalkeeper for next season. So Chelsea and this guy are going to have to figure it out. Now, they're saying that Real Madrid are only interested in bringing Kepa back if it's for a free transfer. And I'm not too sure how much time this guy has left on his deal. But he might have to wait a while then to come back to Madrid. If I was him, I would buy out my contract and I offer myself as third choice keeper. That's what I would do. I wouldn't want to go back to Chelsea. I would be perfectly fine sitting on the bench and watching Lunin and Courtois rotate. And then maybe you could play the odd game here or there. Maybe the injury pops up. But even though Kepa was at the best club in the world and he won 3 trophies, last season didn't really go to plan for him, right? Courtois gets injured, and right away, we signed Kepa on loan. Right away, they put him in the starting 11. They made him the first choice goalkeeper. But Lunin snatched that from him. Like, I fully believe Kepa had no plans on going back to Chelsea. I actually think he thought he'd play so well being the number 1 while Courtois was injured that Real Madrid would buy him and make him their number 2. I think that's what Kepa believed. I don't think he, for 1 second, ever thought about going back to Chelsea. But Lunin played so well that even though Carlo, let's be honest, Carlo didn't want to start Lunin. Carlo wanted Kepa to be the guy. Because he injured, came back from injury, Kepa did, and put him right back in the starting lineup, even though Lunin was outplaying him. And I think Kepa looked decent when he played for us. He didn't really do that much wrong. But Lunin was one of the best keepers in the world last season. Definitely top 5 in my opinion. So Kepa spent most of the season, especially after January came, on the bench. It is what it is, right? Now, obviously, I think having him as your third choice goalkeeper would be a good option, right? And let's not forget, Chelsea spent $72 million to sign this guy from, I think it was Bilbao at the time. That's a lot of money, bro. And he's just flopped. He has not worked out at Chelsea at all. So maybe a move could be on the cards for him next season, or will Enzo give him a shot at starting? Who knows? But yeah, this is a bit of a weird one. I don't know. If you're a Real Madrid fan, let me know if you would want Kepa back. But obviously, they're saying on a free transfer or another loan. If I'm Kepa, I'm trying to force that move, bro. Like, you're not going to get back into the Spain squad, right? Like, you're never going to be a goalkeeper for your country again. You're probably not going to start at Chelsea. So it's like, where would you rather sit on the bench at? Chelsea or Real Madrid? That's like asking, would you rather cry in a Benz or cry on the bus, right? But I would take him back on another loan. Yeah, why not? Maybe a loan with an option to buy for 10 million. Nah, 10 million for your third choice keeper is too much, actually. I actually know, as a matter of fact, I wouldn't take Kepa back. You know what? I don't care. If the club want him back on another loan, then that's fine with me, bro. I actually don't care like that. Could have left. Bro said, that's what I was saying. Could have left them at Wembley. Oh, okay. So Bilal is saying he's got to go. Wait, from Chelsea? Or like, yeah, who are you speaking for? Bro, I'm saying, like, he might as well just stay. Like, imagine him packing up his apartment and having to go back to London from Spain. Oh, my God. Oh, man, I feel so bad for Kepa, bro. I feel so bad for him. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. Damn. Let's see. Yeah, that's true. Let me see. Hey, where do you think Zerki is going to? That's the striker for Bologna, right? I have no idea. I don't even know how good he is. I have not watched him play one time. I see him getting hyped up a lot, but I'm not gonna sit here and fake hype him up if I haven't really watched him. But you guys let me know what you think about him for sure. Kepa on a 5 mil loan deal, you would take that? All right, fair. Let's see. And then Bilal says, honestly, he's a good third choice. I changed my mind. We should keep him. Yeah, I'm telling you, I think he'd much rather be the third choice keeper at Madrid than be the second choice keeper at Chelsea. And I don't think he'd be the second choice keeper at Chelsea because they have Sanchez and they also have Petrovic, who I don't think is that bad either. So, and I see your comment, Rajat. Do the Mavs game live? Absolutely not, bro. Absolutely not. I'm so tired and hungry. I literally had to come off the train and rush to do this stream. And I still might not even be able to do all my topics in time to finish before the finals kick off tonight. Well, tip off tonight. So I may even finish the stream while the game's going on. But, you know, we will be here, people. We will be here. Now, enough of the goalkeeper talk. And we're going to go back to Barcelona and talk about Vitor Roque. Now, his future at Barca was looking real shaky. And I don't know what the hell's happened. I remember they gassed this guy up when they brought him in January, right, from Brazil. And I think he was their response to Madrid signing Endrick. That's what I believe. Maybe not, but it seems like Barca brought him in for no reason because this season he's barely played. And I think it was a mistake to bring him in January and to pay more money for him to come in January if Xavi didn't have him in his plans, right? This is clearly a situation of the manager and the board had a disagreement about the player. Because Barca, they paid like 40-something million for him. And instead of letting him stay in Brazil and just join Barca in the summer, they brought him in during the middle of the season. And Xavi just never used him. A few weeks ago, his agent came out and was going crazy, saying that, yeah, we're going to have to evaluate the situation. He's not going to leave on loan. If he leaves, it'll be on a permanent transfer. Xavi does not talk to him. And all these other reports were coming out. Man United, Tottenham, Chelsea, they were all snooping around because he does have a lot of potential, right? how everybody gassed him up. You can't tell me that in 6 months he's just trash all of a sudden. I don't get why Xavi didn't play him. But with Xavi no longer being at the club and with Hansi Flick coming in, this gave him a chance to save his Barca career before it was over. Because I'm not going to lie, it looked like it was over before it started. Imagine that, only being at Barca for 6 months, and you may have to leave already. The Endrick and Vitor Roque debate almost ended before Endrick could even join Madrid. Now, they're saying that Flick is willing to give him an opportunity, and I think that's the right call. It is. Lewandowski's not getting any younger. Who else do they have that can really come in and be their striker? Ferran Torres? He's mid. So, yeah, I do think Roque should stay at Barca, because if they were to sell him, if Barca are as broke as everybody tells me, they're not going to have any money to replace him. So why not give a kid that you brought in from Brazil in January, when you could have left him at his club in Brazil for the second half of the season? Why not give him a chance? I agree with this move by Hansi Flick, and I think he will come good for them. Now, I haven't watched that much of him, but when he was given his opportunity this season, he bagged a few goals. I think his celebration is trash, though. That whole tiger shit, give it up, bro. I don't want to see that celebration. What is that? I know they call him what, like El Tigre or what, like the tiger or something like that. Trash. Get a new gimmick. That's not it, bro. But yeah, just wanted to talk about him for a second. I don't actually care about Vitor Roque like that. I think Endrick's going to be better than him. And I think, yeah, Barca, they brought him in because they saw what Madrid did with Endrick, and now everybody was trying to hype up Vitor Roque. Who the hell did he even play for in Brazil? Some team I never even really heard of. But, yeah, it's just a weird situation that's going on, because if I'm Roque, why would you agree to go to Barcelona and you never spoke to the manager? Like, clearly, he didn't talk to Xavi, because if he's not being played that much, and if the manager's not talking to you, clearly he doesn't rate you. Why would you decide to join that club? I know it's Barcelona, but brother, you're only 19 years old. If you go to another club and play really well, in 3-4 years, the big clubs will still want you. So, yeah, we'll see what Hansi Flick can do with him. But let me know what you guys think about Vitor Roque, and if you think he can be a top player. I'm not too sure. Let's see. 102 degrees there. Yo, I hate the summer. I'm a winter guy. I like cold weather. Like, I don't know how people like being hot. Like, who the hell wants to sweat? Like, who wants to feel uncomfortable? Because that's what being hot is. It makes you uncomfortable. Like, why do I have to rely on a fan or an AC for comfort? I hate the weather, bro. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it, bro. That's just me. But yeah, let's move on, man. Let's move on. Let's move on. I have to stop doing these streams with so many freaking topics, bro. Yeah, I have to start doing these three days a week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or like Monday and Friday. I'll kind of break it up that way, maybe. That way I'm not trying to get through like 20 different topics, one stream, and now we're talking for like 2-3 hours. It's actually kind of crazy, but yeah. Let's move forward, though, man. I thought I took this comment off screen. Hold on 1 second, guys. And do me a favor, people. Make sure to smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And, yeah, it's going to be a really busy summer. A lot of watch-alongs, Euros, Copa America, the Olympics, some preseason games for Real Madrid. And then the season kicks off August 14th for us against Atalanta in the Super Cup. So it's going to be real busy, people. More transfer videos. I'm going to be adding live stream shows, like just debate streams to my lives as well. So it's going to be very active. Gotta go, my guy. Appreciate you for being here as long as you were, man. Definitely. I'll catch you next time, bro. But let's move on to another Brazilian. Now, Couto, he's being linked with the move to Real Madrid. And I don't believe this transfer rumor right here. I don't think there's anything to this. I cannot see this deal happening. Right back at Girona. played really well last season. Like, Girona were one of the surprises of the season, or one of, actually, no, not even one of, they were the surprise of the season, right? Them finishing as high as they did in third, them playing that style of football, scoring all those goals was fantastic. And Yan Couto played a huge role in their success last season. Now, the reason why I can't see this deal happening is because he is not a Girona player. He is on loan there from Man City. I don't believe Man City would sell him to Real Madrid. And as a Madrid fan, I don't want him. Again, he's a modern fullback. Not good defensively, but very good on the ball and going forward. He is he's an excellent, actually, crosser of the ball. Like, every single time he whips a cross in, it's like on the money. It's actually ridiculous how good he is. Now, obviously, he's Brazilian, so they're all going to be good on the ball, right? Like, can you name me a Brazilian that shit on, okay, maybe, well, you know, Anthony exists, so never mind. But the point is, he lives up to the Brazilian stereotype of them being good on the ball, very good going forward. Now, obviously, like I said, defensively, he's not it. You guys saw that game at the Bernabeu, Girona versus Real Madrid, and Vinny cooked him for 90-plus minutes. So much so, this guy was crying after full time. Vinny brought this man to tears. He couldn't take it. He was getting rinsed. Now, to be fair to him, you're going against Vinicius, arguably one of the best attacking players in the world. But still, that is a bit of a concern for me with how I evaluate him. And with us being linked to Alphonso Davies, I don't think you can have Alphonso Davies and Yan Couto on the same team. You can't. You can't have two fullbacks that want to get forward. You can only sign one or the other. Whether that's a Trent Alexander-Arnold, Hakimi, whoever. You can only have one of them in the squad, or you can only have one of them starting at the same time. But no, I don't think that this transfer is going to happen. I think Yan Couto will end up back at Man City next season, and he's going to be joining his other Brazilian teammate, Savio, in Manchester, and they're going to cook. Both of them in that Pep system are going to play very well. And Yan Couto is also good coverage for Kyle Walker, who's getting up there in age. So, yeah, why would City want to sell him? On top of that, Girona are a part of the City group. Like, it was always in the plans for him to go back to Man City. Now, would he want to play for Real Madrid? Probably. He's Brazilian, right? You know, all these South American kids, they dream about Barça or Real Madrid. Let's be honest. They're not dreaming about Man City. Maybe the next generation because of how dominant City have been. But I don't think players his age necessarily are thinking about Man City. But, yeah, I think that's where he ends up playing next season. And I think he fits into Pep's style because Pep plays a style where they control the ball. He plays with three at the back sometimes. So Yan Couto was going to most likely be sometimes playing in a midfield four as like a right wing back kind of player. And I think that would suit him a lot better than coming to Madrid, right? I mean, I know Danny Carvajal is getting up there in age, and we're going to have to start looking at some replacements for him because I think Danny Carvajal is only going to be a starter for like one more season before we look to maybe replace him or put him on the bench and then get somebody else to that starting 11. But Yan Couto for me is just not the guy. I don't want him, and I don't want Trent Alexander-Arnold. I want Reece James. Now, are we going to go get him? Probably not. But that's who I would prefer. But let me know what you guys think about Yan Couto possibly joining Real Madrid, him being linked with the move there. Look, we're just never beating Brazil FC allegations, right? Just never. Let's see. Couto will take Phillips' spot in Man City squad. Yeah, fair enough. And I actually think that he will play. I don't think that he'll just go to Man City and just be sitting on the bench. I think that he will actually get minutes. But yeah, let's move on from him, though. Now, I need you guys to help me out here because I don't understand why Xavi Simons is going to be going on loan again. Why wouldn't PSG just bring him back into their squad? 3 seasons he spent on loan. Has he not proven himself yet? Like, what's actually going on here with this deal? Why did PSG buy him? Because I think he can start for them right now. Now, Xavi Simons, he's being linked with a move to Bayern Munich. And I just don't get it. Now, I think he'd be a good player for them, right? I think he can fit into that system. But can he start for Bayern? I don't know. Because he occupies the same spaces that Jamal Musiala does. I think Xavi Simons, he looks like he's going to be a good player, right? He's like one of those wonder kids that is actually living up to the hype. I remember when he was at Barcelona, I swear I've been seeing highlights of this guy since he was like 6 years old. And it's actually worked out for him. But he's not better than Jamal Musiala. So where does he play if he goes on loan to Bayern? I also saw that he was linked with the move back to Barcelona. But they're saying Barca can't afford to do this deal. So now Bayern are the favorites. And I believe one of Bayern's directors signed him for Leipzig last season. So there's already a relationship there. So he wants to bring him to Bayern. And I mean, that's usually how it goes, right? Like a player plays well in the Bundesliga, Bayern signed them. I mean, it's just kind of following what we've seen time and time again. And I think that he would do well at Bayern, regardless of where they play him. Because if he did well at Leipzig, why wouldn't he do well in a better squad that's going to give him more opportunities and better chances to score? But if I'm PSG, I would just bring him back into the squad. This makes no sense. They've just lost Mbappe. They're going to need all the attack help they can get. Xavi Simons is a good player. He performed well at Leipzig. Like, just sell him. If you're not going to put him into your squad, why'd you buy him from Barcelona then? This seems like money laundering. Something fishy is going on here because it makes no sense. Can somebody get in the comment section and actually explain this to me? But it's just, bro, it's super weird. No clue why PSG do what they do. Wait, do they think he's not good enough? I think he would cook at PSG. Maybe I'm crazy, though. I don't know. He doesn't rate. So then why did he sign for them? If he doesn't rate PSG, why would he sign for them? Because where's he been on loan so far? PSV. That was last season. Now he's going to go out on loan again. Where was he before PSV? It's super weird, bro. Has to be money laundering. Has to be. This guy can contribute to PSG right now. Like, super weird. But I'm going to move forward, though, because we do got a lot of things to talk about. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Yo, we got 8 more topics. Freaking hell. All right, let's get into the next one, guys. How's my connection? I can't tell. It keeps showing me one freaking bar. I absolutely hate StreamYard. I hate StreamYard. This is the only streaming platform that I have any kind of issues. If I was doing this on OBS, it'd be perfect. But OBS is not this interactive. But it goes up to 2 bars, then drops right back down to 1. Can somebody let me know how my connection is? Please. Before I move forward. Hey, my guy Riyadh. What's going on, bro? Is it Riyadh or Riyadh? I think it's Riyadh, right? Or no, Riyadh, right? Like Riyad Mahrez. I think that's how I'm going to say it, Riyadh. He signed to PSG when he was 16. I think the reasoning was more minutes. I mean, fair, but has he ever played for PSG? It's a little laggy, but it's good. Bro, I think it's my laptop. I have a new laptop coming in on Saturday, so hopefully this is no longer an issue. Because it can't be my internet. I'm literally plugged into my Ethernet cord. So, I don't know. But it's been showing me 1 bar for like the last 10 minutes, and it's actually pissing me off. But it is what it is, man. Let's move forward, though. And we're going to be focusing on Arda Güler because there's reports that Jose Mourinho wants him to come back to Fenerbahce on loan. Now, Mourinho will be their new manager, and he's going to look to strengthen their squad, even though you can argue Fenerbahce don't need that much added to their team. They finished on 99 points last season, and they still lost the league. That is crazy. 99 points, and you didn't win the league. I guess they know how Liverpool feel, right? But look, Arda Güler, his first season at Real Madrid was up and down, right? He came here, was injured. The first 6 months, didn't play until January. Then after he made his debut in that cup game, we didn't really see him that much after that. Maybe little 1-2 games off the bench, getting a little 2 minutes, little 3 minutes there. And then after we wrapped up the league, he got a lot more playing time, and he was bagging goals. Like, one thing people did not tell me when we first bought Arda was how good he is in front of goal. Everybody always just said, nah, he's a Ozil regen, right? Because of his tech, and he's able to pick out nice passes for his teammates. He's more of a creator. But nobody told me that this man was that good in front of goal, people, because I think he has the best goal to minutes ratio in Europe's top 5 leagues. He was clinical. He scored damn near every game he started or that he played. It's actually kind of ridiculous. I believe he had more goals than Lamine Yamal, or they were on the same amount, even though he didn't play even half the minutes that Yamal did this season. He's a very good player, and he's being linked with a move away. A lot of different clubs are looking to bring him on loan. Obviously, Madrid are not going to sell him, and I don't believe he will go out on loan. Because I think with Toni Kroos retiring, there will be more minutes in that midfield for him. On top of that, Madrid are in 7 different competitions next season. They can possibly play over 60 games. You're going to need a big squad to compete on all fronts. And there's going to be more than enough minutes and opportunities for Arda. I think how he ended the season was very strong. And I think he's earned more minutes next season. Now, what I will say is, if Carlo does not plan on playing him that much next season, let him go out on loan. Why keep him here? Because I was getting pretty frustrated seeing him on the bench week in, week out. I'm like, how is he going to develop into the player that he's supposed to be if he's not out there playing? That was a lot of Madrid fans' really only complaint about this season, was we wanted to see Arda a little bit more. Now, obviously, Carlos already said, look, he was brought to Madrid to win games, win trophies, not to play kids. And fair enough, he's right. So I'm not going to complain too much, but I definitely would have liked to see Arda get some more opportunities. Now, hypothetically, as I said, I don't think he's going to go out on loan. I think he ends up staying at Madrid because I believe he wants to stay. But if he was to go out on loan for next season, right? Let's go into a dream world, a dream scenario. I actually think going back to Fenerbahce wouldn't be that bad of a move. Because he's from there, right? He's from their academy. He made his first team debut there. They gave him the number 10. They sold him to us. So they love him there, right? When we first signed him and when we announced him on Twitter, that is the 3rd most liked football tweet of all time, behind Ronaldo and Mbappe's. For a 17-year-old, well, he was 17 at the time, or 18 at the time. For a young kid like that, the Turkey fans are crazy. The Turkish fans are crazy, I should say. So I think they welcome him back. And he would get to develop a bit more. But I don't know if I'd want him going back to that country, right? Because if you're going to be in La Liga, I'd rather you go out on loan to a team that's going to be playing in the league that you're going to be playing in for your time at Madrid. That, to me, makes the most sense for you to adapt more to Spain. I think Girona would be a good fit. I think, Girona is who I'm looking at, if I'm being honest. But Fenerbahce would be a good move as well. I know that Jose Mourinho, they're saying that he's requested him on loan. But I think Arda would want to stay because once you leave on loan, and if you don't perform that well, that can kind of backtrack in terms of now maybe the club don't rate you as much anymore. And you guys know at Madrid, we're always looking at signing the next best player. So if you slip up and if that loan deal does not go to plan, you may just lose your spot or they may bring in somebody else. Who knows? So I kind of do agree with him in terms of staying in the squad and fighting for your place. That's what I would do. And again, with Toni Kroos leaving, that opens up more minutes. Now, if Toni Kroos was staying, then maybe we're having a different conversation. Like if him and Luka Modric were both remaining at the club, then yeah, we have to have a conversation about that. But I think Arda is as close to a Toni Kroos replacement that we have. He's obviously not at that level, and he'll be lucky to reach the levels that Kroos has. But if you look at how good Kroos is on the ball, his passing ability, who else do we have in that midfield group that can do those kind of things better than what we've seen from Arda? So, yeah, I think he does have a future at Madrid. But this definitely is one to keep your eye out for. But I can't see him going anywhere. And I think he wants to stay. And I don't think Madrid want to let him leave either. I think they want him to develop at the club. I just hope that he gets more opportunities next season, which he should. Because as I said, there's a lot of games going on. So everybody will have to be involved for sure. Saying connection's good on your end? Bet. Let's see. Playing for Jose would never be a bad move. That's a fact. It's funny how in Turkey they have high standards, right? Fenerbahce are a huge club. They came second on 99 points, and they won a trophy, and they still sacked their manager. I saw a video of some fan stabbing up like a picture of the club's president. He said, oh, shit, we got to go get Jose Mourinho. I mean, like, that was the perfect managerial appointment. They haven't won the league in over 10 years. That sounds kind of crazy when you consider how big Fenerbahce are. And I think Jose Mourinho will win them the league. He will. He's the special one for a reason. But, yeah, guys, let me know what you think about Arda Güler and, you know, what his future should be, loan or stay at Madrid. I think he should stay. But you could disagree. That is A-okay. Now, let's go back to England and talk about Manchester United because they're being linked with the move for Leny Yoro. And according to the reports, they've submitted a bid for him already. And now it may just be up to the player on if he'd want to join Manchester United. He's been linked to a bunch of big clubs, most notably PSG and Real Madrid. Now, I think Man United is the team that can offer him the most playtime right now because I think he could start for United. Rafael Varane is leaving. Harry Maguire is not that good. Lisandro Martinez is always injured. Who else is there? Victor Lindelof? I think he automatically walks into the starting 11 for Manchester United. And I think that's why they're willing to spend so much money on him. He is a very good player from what it looks like. I've only seen compilations. I've not watched him play live. But everybody talks about him and calls him generational. The last time I've heard somebody say he's like the Mbappe of center backs, they were talking about William Saliba. I've heard them kind of talk about Leny Yoro that same way. On top of that, they say that he is kind of like a Rafael Varane. Like he's that kind of player. Now, if you're going to believe the hype, this would be a good signing. And I think United, they do need a center back. So if I'm them, I would do this deal. It makes sense. But if you're Leny Yoro, is this where you want to go? There's so much uncertainty at that club. Right? There's managerial uncertainty. Ineos have taken over. What are they going to do with the club? And funny enough, I think Manchester United are going to have a big summer. I think Ineos are going to want to impress. I don't believe any of those reports that they only have 40 million to spend and all this nonsense, bro. Man United are the richest club in the world. They are arguably the biggest club in the world. They have the most fans. They generate the most money. No, well, actually, they're second. They're second in generated revenue per season. They make hundreds of millions every single season. You cannot tell me that Man United don't have any money and they can only sell to buy. Man United are not a sell to buy club. That's what Liverpool do. That's not what Man United do. Look at all the money that they've spent the last decade on bringing players in. That's why when people complain about City spending money, I'm like, yo, bro, people don't realize Man United spend more money than them. Spending money is not the problem. It's just how do you spend that money? Because if only spending money means that you're going to be an elite club on the pitch, which Man United, they are an elite club, but on the pitch, they're not anymore, then they would be the best again because they spend that much bread. But they spent on a lot of duds. And I think Ineos, like I said, are going to have a big summer. They're going to want to win the fans over. And the best way to get the fans on side is by bringing them new toys. And Leny Yoro, I think, would be very welcomed at Old Trafford. Because we didn't forget, Man United could have been 100% taken over by either the Qataris or the Saudis, one of them. But Ineos made a deal that kept the Glazers there. And I don't think a lot of fans are going to forget that. They're not. So we'll see what ends up happening. But if I'm Leny Yoro, I would definitely consider going to Manchester United, especially if you want to play right away, right? At PSG, it's going to be hard to get minutes. You're going to have to battle with Marquinhos, Lucas Hernandez, and then at Real Madrid, they're going to be like the fourth choice center back because you're going to be going against Rudiger, David Alaba, Eder Militao, and now yourself. So I think Man United can offer him more playing time. And I think maybe that is where he should go. He's only 18 years old. So even if he doesn't really want to be at Man United, if he stays there for 4 or 5 years, he'll be 22 or 23. He can get that big move to another big club if he really wants to and still be really young. So I don't think players should just go out there and join these huge clubs when they're younger. I like teams like Dortmund, right? Clubs like that, Ajax, where they're going to play you and you're going to be playing at a high level and they have every incentive to make you the best that they can so that they can move you on for profit. But, I mean, look, Man United, they're trying to address their defense. Last season, these guys were leaking goals left and right. They could not keep the ball out of the back of the net. And if they're going to try to do anything next season, they got to fix their back line. They also need a left back. And they maybe do need another center back because Lisandro Martinez is not really reliable, even though I believe he is fit now. But let's see how long that lasts. But yeah, guys, let me know in the comment section what you think about Leny Yoro and if he should go to Manchester United. I think it'd be a good move for him, and they would definitely be able to offer him the most playtime than I think the other club that he's been strongly linked to. So could work out. But let's move forward. Now, Bernardo Silva, this guy has almost left Man City for like the last 2 to 3 summers, right? And I don't even know why I started like that. Let me just restart. Look, Bernardo Silva is being linked with a move away from Man City, and it seems like he's always being linked to Barcelona. It seems like there's always reports about him not really wanting to stay in England. And I think he may leave this summer. Now, it's been revealed by Fabrizio Romano and other outlets that he does have a release clause that can be activated this summer. It's £51 million. Now, that's a lot of money for a player that only has 12 months left on his deal. So I don't know if Barcelona are going to necessarily be able to pay all that. They would have to hope that Man City would be willing to negotiate a lower fee. But Bernardo Silva is a very good player. I think he is one of the best in the world. He's class. And losing him would be a big blow for City. I mean, the season before last, they lost Gundo on a free to Barca. And now you may lose Bernardo on a free. Well, not on a free, but you may just lose him, period. That's going to hurt them. And I don't know how they're going to be able to replace him. I think he's class at any position that you put him in. You could put him in midfield. You could play him as an 8. You could play him as a 10. You could put him on either wing, and he's going to do a job. He's super underrated. I don't think that many people put as much respect on his name as they should. But trust me, you'll feel the effects of him leaving once he's no longer there if you didn't really realize how good of a player he is. He is just a complete midfielder and forward, in my opinion, in terms of on the wings, right? Obviously, I don't think he could play it from, but I think he can also play as like a false 9. But look, regardless of the point, I think he does want to leave, right? He's won everything that there is to win at Man City. And I think now he just wants to play for Barca, who are a bigger club than City, even though they're not as good as a club in terms of City are a better team. City have a better manager. City are more what's the word? City are run better. That's how I say it. City are run better than Barca. But I mean, this guy is going to be 30 starting next season. I think he just wants to try out something new. And, you know, I'm pretty sure he did grow up as a fan of Barcelona, right? I mean, when he was growing up, Barca, you know, they were the best club technically, right? Going back and forth with Madrid. That's when Barca were probably winning the trebles. That's when they had like Neymar, Messi, Suarez. He probably was there to see when it was Pep Guardiola and there was like Iniesta, Xavi, like and those guys there. So he probably just wants to be a part of Barcelona history. And it seems like he's wanted out of Man City for at least 2 seasons now. And I think with him only having 12 months left on his contract, City have to get rid of him this summer because you don't want to lose him for free like how you lost Gundo, right? That would be bad business for sure. Now, let's move forward. Zinchenko. He's being linked with a move to Bayern Munich. They're saying that Vincent Kompany is interested in signing him. And I'm going to tell you this right now. If Bayern Munich lose Alphonso Davies and then they go sign Zinchenko as his replacement, they are cooked. They need to probably sack Kompany before the season started because Zinchenko is awful. I'm sorry. He is not good at all. I think he's decent on the ball, and he's definitely good when he's attacking, and he can invert and drop into midfield as well. But just as an overall player, mid, very underwhelming. I think he was one of the reasons why Arsenal lost the title race in his first season. This guy can't defend a light pole. Imagine losing Alphonso Davies and getting Zinchenko. That should be malpractice. No way in hell. Bayern Munich were linked with Theo Hernandez. How the hell do you get linked with Zinchenko? I think Arsenal would sell him too. I think it costs maybe 40 M's. And that's still too much. Absolutely not. I mean, talk about a downgrade. Oh my goodness. You might as well just promote somebody from your academy and give them a chance at left back before you go sign Zinchenko. Like, are we serious? How the hell has Zinchenko managed to finesse playing for these big clubs? Man City, then Arsenal, and now possibly Bayern Munich? I know that him and Kompany were teammates, though, a few seasons ago, because Kompany only retired, like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, it seems like. He was still City's captain recent. So they probably do have a relationship. But this guy is not it. And Bayern Munich, they have to have a big summer. They just lost the Bundesliga to Bayer Leverkusen, who dominated. Actually, they didn't win anything last season. The first time in my football fan life that I saw Bayern Munich go trophyless. How are they going to respond? I think it's already off to a rocky start by getting Kompany. I don't know how the hell you get relegated with Burnley, and then your next job after you got relegated is Bayern Munich. He's failed upwards. I think Kompany is a good coach, right? When Burnley were in the championship, they were cooking. But is he going to be able to get the job done at Bayern Munich? That is a pretty big task. They are an elite club. The expectations at Bayern Munich are to win the Bundesliga every season and to go and make the Champions League final at minimum, bro. Like, they expect to win everything. And even if you do win the Bundesliga, they still might sack you. So this is a very hard job that he has on his hands because that Bayern squad is aging. And on top of that, a lot of their players, their contracts are running out. Kimmich only has like a year left. Jamal Musiala only has 2 years. Alphonso Davies, his deal runs out next year. I think Leroy Sané's deal is running down. Kingsley Coman. So Bayern have to kind of go through a rebuild. They got to restructure this squad. But you cannot lose Alphonso Davies and replace him with Zinchenko. What kind of joke is that? I cannot imagine Bayern fans would be happy if this is the replacement. I agree with them being linked to Theo Hernandez. I think Theo Hernandez is a good left back. He can defend and he can go forward. He might even be better than Alphonso Davies. But Zinchenko? Absolutely not. This is not how you respond to not winning a trophy trophy for the first time in like over a decade. No. But I do think Bayern will be back next season. I think they are going to win the league. There's no way they go 2 seasons without winning that. And they're also being linked to Jonathan Tah as well. See, this is why people don't rate the Bundesliga, because anytime another team does well, Bayern come and just buy their better players. It's weird. It's a farmers league. It's not competitive at all. I don't think any of those teams actually care about winning. Like Dortmund, that's the only team that really rival Bayern year in, year out. And they're a human trafficking organization. They buy young kids, and all that they want to do is sell them for profit. They don't actually care about winning trophies. As long as Dortmund and teams like Leverkusen just finish in a Champions League place, they'll be happy with their season. But shout out to Leverkusen, though, for the season that they had. They went crazy last year, but I think it's going to be pretty hard for them to do it again, especially with them being a Champions League now and them having to play better competition. But as far as Bayern are concerned, I am interested to see how they end up playing underneath Company, and I wonder how they'll do. I think Harry Kane will get his first trophy next season. I just cannot. No way. Bayern go back-to-back years without winning anything. I don't see it happening. Let me know what you guys think about this in the chat. Can we name a bigger downgrade in history? Alphonso Davies for Zinchenko? Oh, my goodness. As I said, that's got to be malpractice. Guys, do me a favor if you're still watching. We got a few more topics, and then we're out of here. Definitely make sure to smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well if you guys are enjoying the content. Big up to everybody that has been here throughout the entire stream. We're going on like an hour and 50 minutes, and we probably got 30 more to go. But, yeah, enough of this mid-player. Let's get him off my screen before he pisses me off. Yeah, we're going to quickly touch on this because I feel like I had a lot more to say about this. But now that I actually think about it, do we actually care that Douglas Luiz may be leaving Aston Villa? I mean, yeah, like if you're a Villa fan, you care. But as a neutral, like I don't actually care about him possibly going to Juve. Now, I don't think he's going to leave Villa. It would make no sense for them to sell their best players after qualifying for the Champions League. Like, then what's the point if you're not going to actually try and make your squad stronger to have a go at it? But I have been seeing some reports that they may have to sell players to, get in, like what is it called? Like FFP, basically, right? For FFP reasons, Villa may have to sell players. And I think FFP is just one of the dumbest things in football. I don't understand it at all. Like, why can't these billion owners spend their money how they want to? Like, if I buy something for $1 billion, right? Let's say Aston Villa probably cost their owners like a couple $100 million to buy. Why the hell can you tell me what I can do with my club? I don't get it. I think FFP is a scam, and I think that FFP is only in place to keep the small clubs down because they'll never be able to catch up to the bigger clubs because they'll never have the kind of revenue to spend because they can only spend a certain amount of how much they make. That's idiotic. I don't know about you guys, but I don't like it at all. Now, they're saying that Juventus have already agreed on personal terms with Douglas Luiz. Now they have to agree on terms with Villa for this deal to happen. And this is regular, right? I mean, if you want to buy a player, you're going to contact their agent and their people first, because why would you just bid for a player that you didn't talk to? Because what if he doesn't want to join your club? Then you look like an idiot. So this is pretty standard, right? You usually hear about personal terms being negotiated and agreed to before you hear about the two clubs getting into discussions. But as I said earlier, if I'm Villa, I'm not selling those Luiz. We just made Champions League. Like, it's bad enough that people are already trying to sign Ollie Watkins, like Leon Bailey, Yuri Tillmans, like all your other big name players. And now we're going to lose all of them after making Champions League. It's idiotic. I think Villa have a good thing going over there, and they have the second best manager in the Prem in Unai Emery. Look at his CV. Don't talk to me about Arda or none of these other guys. Unai Emery is the second best manager in the Prem right now behind Pep Guardiola after Klopp, since Klopp has left. I don't think that they're going to just sell his squad. He's also just signed a long-term extension, and Villa's owners are very rich, and they are very ambitious because the business that they've been doing since they've sold Jack Grealish has been fantastic. They have a good squad there, and they can make some noise again. And I think Villa can win something. They can actually win a trophy. Villa are a big club, by the way. Go look at their history. I don't think they're going to be selling anyone this summer. Anyone that they actually would want to keep. But maybe I'm crazy. Maybe you guys think that they should be selling somebody. Then it would be a farmers league. I'm not too sure what you mean, Scott. Not too sure, but we can move on. Because as I said, I don't actually care if he does stay or go. Head itchy. Yeah, I don't actually care if he does stay or go. Now, let's talk about Mohamed Kudus, because he's being linked with the move to Liverpool as a possible Mohamed Salah replacement. Now, I don't know if there was a report that came out saying that they expect Salah to stay and that they're counting on him for next season, but I don't for 1 second believe that Salah will be at Liverpool come next season. I think he's off to Saudi. It only makes sense. This guy only has 12 months left on his contract. And these Saudi clubs are going to be willing to pay over $100 million to sign him. How do you keep him at the club? On top of that, Salah's performances, they're declining. He's no longer the player that he used to be. And that was very evident last season. I think this is the right time to cash in on him. You have to take advantage of these Saudi clubs. Mo Salah would be arguably the biggest athlete in that region of the world. He's Muslim. He's a very big player. They would worship him over there. And if you're Liverpool, it's the end of an era. Arne Slot's come in, Klopp has left, and I think they're going to lose a few of their big-name players, right? I think Salah's going to leave. I think Van Dijk, Luis Diaz, Andy Robertson, and maybe even Trent, because at the time of this recording, he has still not signed a contract to stay at the club. Trent Alexander-Arnold only has 12 months left on his deal. He will be a free agent next summer. Liverpool have to figure out what they're going to do with him, because you cannot lose him for nothing. Now, if they do lose Mo Salah, a player that they like is Mohamed Kudus. And I think he looks really good, right? His first season in the Prem with West Ham last season, he played really well. And if it wasn't for Cole Palmer going crazy, I think Kudus would have been talked about a lot more, right? He's adapted to this league really well. He has the physical tools. He's also good on the ball. Now, what's kind of thrown me off, if you guys are reading this little tweet that I have on the bottom right there, they're saying because of Lucas Paqueta possibly being banned from football because he has to, fight the FA on gambling charges, and if he's found guilty, Paqueta's career is over. They're saying that this may lower the valuation of Kudus. Am I reading this wrong? It says the Hammers could be willing to lower their valuation of the Ghanaian after the betting charges against Paqueta. That makes no sense to me. I would automatically assume that his price now goes up because they would need to rely on him a lot more. Or am I mistaken? Let me know, guys. If Lucas Paqueta somehow gets banned, wouldn't they demand more money to sell Mohamed Kudus? Now, I think he'd be a good signing for Liverpool, but it would cost them a lot. West Ham only just got him a year ago. They're probably going to want like 70, 60 million for him. I think that's fair. And I wonder how he would fit into Slot's plan, because everybody tells me that Slot likes to play possession-based football. And obviously, Kudus was at Ajax. So Slot would have gotten to see him first-hand experience because he managed Feyenoord. So I'm pretty sure he's familiar with Kudus' game. And he's very fast. He's very strong. And I think on that right wing, he would cause problems. Yes, Liverpool have a better team than West Ham. And if he was able to cause problems for West Ham, why wouldn't he be able to do that with Liverpool? So, yeah, I can definitely see this move happening. He like, this does seem like a Liverpool kind of signing. But let me know what you guys think about Kudus possibly joining Liverpool as Mo Salah's replacement. I think it could work out. And I think Liverpool have to plan for the future. A lot of fans aren't going to like that. But, bro, you can't get attached to players, right? Players are employees of the club. They're replaceable, right? So The same way that Liverpool fans were mad when you guys sold Coutinho. Well, look how that's worked out. Look how everything has turned out. So, yeah, don't get attached. Mo Salah is arguably your greatest ever player. He's won everything that there is to win at Liverpool. I think he should go get that last big payday. And Liverpool are going to get a lot of money for selling a player with only 12 months left on his deal. And then they can also use that money to invest into the squad. So to me, it works out for both parties. But I know some people get attached to these guys and they don't want to see them leave. And you guys may want Mo Salah to retire at the club. To me, it'd be bad business to not sell him. But yeah, man, Kudos can play as an attacking midfielder. He can play as a center forward, and he can also play on that right wing. So versatile player. And yeah, as I said, Slot would definitely be familiar with him because he's had to play against him a lot. So yeah, guys, let me know, as I said, in the comment section. Now, moving forward, we are going to talk about Jude Bellingham. Now, this guy has been talked about a lot recently. A lot of these big clubs are in with a move for him, right? We're talking about Tottenham, Brentford, and Crystal Palace. Now, he's currently at Sunderland in the Championship, and they don't look that good, right? I don't think they're going to be getting promoted. They actually might be getting close to relegation, right? But point is, everybody's at Jude Bellingham. Obviously, he is Jude Bellingham's little brother, and everybody knows what Jude's doing at Real Madrid. And I think that that's actually caused a lot more eyes to be focused on the Bellingham brother that plays in England. So his performances for team has a lot of potential. Now, do I think he can be as good as his brother? No, right? I think that'd be very hard for him to do. But can he carve out his own career and make a name for himself? I think so. It'd be very hard for him to do that because of his brother, and his brother obviously plays for Real Madrid. It doesn't get any bigger than that in terms of the stage that he's performing on. And I think that's why he goes by just Job, right? He doesn't want to go by Jude Bellingham. He wants to, again, make his own name for himself. And if I was him, I would look to leave Sunderland for sure. I think he's maybe outgrown them, right? Like, let's be honest. What can Sunderland really offer him right now outside of just championship football? Because the reports are saying that they are determined to keep him, but how can they do that if Tottenham, Brentford, and Crystal Palace are in for him? Now, out of these three clubs, I think Crystal Palace makes the most sense, right? Now, I know you see Tottenham there, and people are going to say, oh, go to Tottenham. But, right? Yeah, you're going to be playing in Europe, and you are going to be on a bigger stage per se, but you're not going to get as much time to develop because at Tottenham, they want to come top four. They don't really win trophies, but do they really give youngsters that much time? I don't really know of too many youngsters that have made their debut and have broke through into Tottenham's team. I can't really think of any. I mean, I'm sure there has been some players, right? Like Dele Alli, for example, way back when. But I think Crystal Palace makes the most sense because they may lose Olise and also Eze as well. So Joe, being a player that plays in a similar position to those guys, would benefit from that. Crystal Palace don't spend that much money as well. On top of that, Oliver Glasgow has them playing some really good football. And I think Joe would benefit from that. Brentford, for me, not attractive at all. Like, why would you go to Brentford? They're a mid-table club like Palace, but I just think Palace, their manager, in my opinion, looks a lot better. I don't know how my connection is, but this junk keeps clicking. So, yeah, maybe I might just end it here, and we talk about Joe maybe again on my next stream. But you know what, people? Yeah, I think let's actually just end this here because I actually don't know what the hell is going on. But yo, shout out to everybody that joined, right? It was a lot of you guys in here today. Definitely make sure to smash that like button. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to subscribe. And I'll be back on Monday. Hopefully, no connection issues because I will be getting a brand new laptop. This shit right here is annoying, but I appreciate all of you guys, man. Until next time, I'm out, people. Peace.